Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pantry Raid. I did not know if this was going to come back. We had a last season cliffhanger, the last show in January, but here we are. We are back. We are doing live shows online again, and I'm really excited to get to bring you a whole new slate of comedians, a whole new number of opportunities to watch comedy from home, and this time the chance to get to do a little bit of good. So, if you didn't already know, we are donating $1 to World Central Kitchen for everyone that shows up. So just by being here, you're already doing a little bit of good for World Central Kitchen, a nonprofit that brings together food resources in times of crisis. So right now they're doing some work in the Ukraine. They've done work in the aftermath of natural disasters. They've even done things like feed people while in long voting lines. They're doing so much good, and a food-related show had to be able to support their work. So thank you for being here for that. But yeah, I always love doing this. As many of you know, I love being at home. So like getting to do comedy from home is awesome. I have cookies, which are great because I don't know if you all know this. You can't travel with gluten-free cookies because they disintegrate if you hold them too tightly, if you put them near anything hard, if you look at them wrong. So they kind of have to stay home. So getting to have a cookie at home, excellent. But yeah, that was one of many things that I did during my pandemic was make tons and tons of cookies. More specifically, I made tons and tons of cookie dough because I found the process immensely soothing. But then I had all this cookie dough and I had to figure out what to do with it. So I'll say by that first late spring of the pandemic, I had pounds of cookie dough in the freezer, just kind of waiting to be baked off. But this is a fresh batch. We're locked in. We're ready to go. Another thing I did during the pandemic, I did some thinking about who I am as a person. And yeah, I came to some interesting conclusions that finally hit home when I got to visit my parents overseas in West Africa about a month ago. I hadn't seen them since 2019. And that trip was kind of added to by the fact that I was going with my sister and my new brother-in-law because my sister got married during the pandemic. So I was expecting, as the single older sister, to get all of those questions that you get from all of your relatives when you see them and you're not married. Just, oh, are you next? It's like, when are you bringing somebody home? When's it going to happen for you? And I am interested, we'll say, to report that no one asked. No questions. There for a week, saw people I hadn't seen in years. Nobody asked. And it was an interesting moment to kind of realize that the people that are supposed to believe in you most had just given up. But I haven't given up. That's what they don't know. I am waiting. So I am what we're probably referring to as a second round draft pick. So I have to wait for the end of the first round, and then I jump in at round 2. I'm second wife material. That's what we learned during the pandemic. And listen, I know who I am. I've had a lot of time to get to know myself. I am romantic, but I'm not naive. I am smart, but I'm the kind of smart that doesn't mind telling men that they're being stupid, which I'm told is off-putting, but I am too old to change, so this is just what you get. And like, I'm cute. I can put myself together, but I'm in no danger of being pursued by Pete Davidson. So like, I understand what I'm working with, right? And you know what it is? I'm a minivan of a human woman, right? So it takes a very specific type of person to go for a minivan as their first vehicle. Now, I want to be very clear. I'm not a sports utility vehicle. I am not splashing through streams. I am not scaling mountains. I am in the breakdown lane with a minor inconvenience, like very much just a 1997 Ford Windstar of a woman. That's me. And who is going for a minivan as their first vehicle, right? Very specific type of person. Your DJs, your shitty drummers, and your youth pastors, which, no, and creepy. A minivan is a car you kind of come to realize that you need over time. Like, you've tried out a couple cars here and there, you've had some time to figure out what you need, and you've come to the point in your life where you want something sturdy, dependable, has a lot of room, helps you meet your goals. And like, if there are a ton of extra seltzer cans or an unfathomable number of cracker crumbs in the back, you just deal with it because it gives you everything else you need, right? just a 2003 Toyota Sienna of a soulmate. That's what I'm doing here. So those of you that are watching, like if you're still looking for your partner and you want to kind of go, I want the new one. I want that fresh new car smell. Like, go for it. I want that for you. Get your coupes, get your convertibles. You deserve it. But if you're kind of over that, that's fine too. We are in the crew that's rolling for certified pre-owned, and we're excited about it, right? That's just where we are. So, speaking of excited, I am insanely excited to present this lineup to you. Some of my favorite people who are doing some really amazing things for comedy. And we're going to start with Jolie Dudley. So, Jolie is based in New York. I met her through her open mic Funny Bitch. And she also runs a show called Must Love Dogs and Comedy, which is exactly as delightful as it sounds. It is a recurring show around New York where you get to do shows in dog-friendly places. I get to do it with her at the end of this month. I'm so excited. Jolie, so happy to have you here. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right, let me get out of the way. I'm going to let you do your thing, and then we will come back and talk snacks.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, everybody. It's like weird, I guess, to be here and not hearing like any responses back from like feedback. But I mean, I am kind of used to it because I am a middle child. So that's pretty much the response I get all the time. But I mean, I'm sitting down, so you can't really tell. But according to American beauty standards, I'm considered plus size. I'm a plus size individual. But according to my Southern mom's beauty standards, I am never going to be able to keep a man. She's so supportive. She's so great. Love you, Mom, if you're watching. But she's probably not. It's okay. Yeah, so I can tell that other people view me as a bigger girl too when I'm like moving through the comedy space, the entertainment space. Because when I tell people that I do stand up or that I perform comedy, in different spaces, their reply to me is always, "Oh my God, you're so brave." And I know that's about my body, right? I know that that's about my body because people don't tell hot female comics that they're brave. People don't tell Whitney Cummings or Nikki Glaser that they're brave. People just say things to them like, I don't really find female comics that funny. And I want that. I want to be so hot that I'm not funny. Yeah. So maybe this like quiet space of no laughter means I'm hot. Hey, nice. But the other day, I put one of my videos on Instagram of one of my jokes, and you can actually follow me on Instagram too. I'll pause. I'll wait. At Jolie Dudley. Just kind of check to see if anybody's doing it. Nobody did. Thank you. So I put one of my jokes on Instagram, got a couple views, and then I got a really hateful message from somebody that I didn't know. They said, "What a fucking surprise. Another unfunny female comedian." Kind of rude. During Women's History Month, right? Another unfunny female comedian. Did they just call me hot? I think they did. It's all the validation I needed that day. I actually didn't even take my antidepressant that day because I was really riding high from that hateful comment. Another reason I know I'm plus size is because I get booked on something called body positivity photo shoots. So I do comedy, but I also do like commercial acting, background acting, and some modeling. And if you don't know what a body positivity shoot is, it's when I show up to set and I'm talent, right? They're like, here's Jolie Dudley, she's talent. Here's Jolie, she's talent. And my only talent is just showing up, looking pretty, and being overweight. Also known as the American dream. So I went to this body positivity shoot. And again, if you don't know what it is, it's just when I'm standing there with the other girls and I'm looking at them and I'm acting like I'm laughing and they're taking pictures. And this is what it looks like. Okay, that will be $100 from everybody watching this show right now. I don't work for free. No, I'll drop my Venmo in the chat. But yeah, so these body positivity shoots are really fun though. So like the last one that I did a couple weeks ago, and this is a real thing. I know some comedians are like talk about bits and stuff. This is a real thing. You can go to my Instagram and see the footage. So I did a body positivity shoot a few weeks back, and I went there and they did my hair and my makeup, and they gave me wardrobe that I got to keep. And when I went to the break room for lunch, there was a turkey BLT with my name written on it. It was amazing. I was sitting here, I was like, these people are paying me to be fat. And that's amazing, right? Like, I didn't get any of this when I was skinny. I didn't get any of this when I was skinny. You know what I got when I was skinny? Chlamydia. Why would I go back to that? So I'm like, turkey BLT, chlamydia. It's not that much of a hard decision. When I'm not talking to random people on the internet about my body image and my weight, I am a small business owner. So yes, ladies, you can have it all. Amma mentioned, I'm just like laughing at myself. Amma mentioned my show that I run, Must Love Dogs and Comedy. And that is my small business. So my partner and I, we put on these dog-friendly comedy events in the New York City area where we spotlight local talent, up-and-coming talent, some established comedians, and people can also bring their dogs to the show too. And a portion of all of our proceeds are donated to local animal shelters. So it's a really cool initiative. And it got me thinking about like people who are working in businesses and who are, you know, bringing up their small businesses, or just anybody who's employed, really. Like they talk about their coworkers, right? Sometimes you'll hear people say like, oh my gosh, my coworker is such a bitch. My coworker is such a bitch. I'm like, no, mine literally is a bitch because it's this one right behind me. My daughter. Working full-time, trying to do comedy and building up this small business. It's a lot of work. And a few weeks ago, actually, I don't know if y'all saw it in the news, but Kim Kardashian, she was interviewed and she was like, I have the best advice for female business owners. Get off your fucking asses and work. I was like, okay, Kim Kardashian, you know, like some of us aren't rich trying to build up these small businesses, right? Like we're putting in the work. I'm working my full-time job. I'm trying to pursue comedy. I am trying to build up the small business. So it's like sometimes like 80-hour work weeks, right? I'm grinding. I'm doing it all. I'm sending the emails, building out our fan base, building out our branding. I'm doing all of these things, grinding. So don't you, Kim Kardashian, tell me to get off of my fucking ass and work. Because I can do all of this sitting down. Yeah, you don't need to stand to send an email. You really don't. Last thing that I'll chat about, my partner that I mentioned, we've been together for 3.5 years now, and we're in an interracial relationship. So I took an Ancestry.com test. Well, he's a Dominican man. I took an Ancestry.com test, and my result was just a picture of Casper holding a pumpkin spice latte. They told me I was very white. So there's a lot of differences between us. And his mom, he talks to his mom all the time. He calls his mom all the time. And we were actually on the phone talking with her earlier before this show. And we were on FaceTime, and I hadn't seen her in a while. And she was like, wow, Jolie, you look so beautiful. You look pregnant. I was like, oh, no, I'm not pregnant. I'm just really brave. Thank you so much. I'm Jolie Dudley.
Woo! Thank you for that, Jolie. Oh, fantastic. And of course, a dog cameo in the background. Nope, just show it. I love to see it.
Nope. No.
No, nothing.
No.
All right, so now I don't know if it will factor into this. It is time for your food opinion. So you will have about a minute and a half to share your food take that maybe is controversial or underrated, something you want people to know about a food type concept. Are you ready, Jolie?
Yes, it's beside me.
All right. Proceed. What do you got?
Okay, so I don't think it's controversial. I do think maybe it's underrated.
Okay.
Or maybe I didn't know. Here's the thing. I didn't appreciate it until quarantine.
Okay.
Because I didn't really appreciate it. So I've always been a really big popcorn lover. And I just went like the OG popping it in the microwave route, like just regular kind. But then during quarantine, I started eating a lot of white cheddar popcorn.
Okay.
And I never went back. Right. So I love it. I love popcorn in general. I think it's such a good snack, like the saltiness of it. But then this added white cheddar flavor. Plus, if you buy this brand, which I'm not sponsored by, but I could be, Smart Food, your move. It's like, to me, it's healthy. Just because of the words smart food, right? So I don't feel as guilty. And it says 70 calories per cup. But maybe it's less when you eat the whole bag in one sitting, but it's very, very good. And look at this, this quote on the back. It actually says, "We are all born with a deep primal need for savory white cheddar. It's a fact, look it up." And I just love that confidence.
I do.
This bag of popcorn. So I get it. I do. I watch a lot of TV at night, and I'm always eating some of this while I'm watching TV. I think it's underrated, and I truly did not appreciate it until recently.
So a brave woman with confident popcorn. I love what we're doing here.
That's a good brand.
I love it. I think that's great. How could they not sponsor you with something like that? Like, I am confident because you are confident. We got to work together.
We do have to work together. I smell a body positivity photo shoot with white cheddar popcorn. That's a good idea. And I'm pitching it right now to Smart
this will
Food.
be up on YouTube. Please send them a link.
They might be watching right now.
Smart Food representatives, if you're watching right now, I can't think of a better spokesperson than Jolie.
No, gluten-free, no artificial colors or flavors, no artificial preservatives, 14 grams of whole grains per serving. What?
And Steph, potential consumer, says the dream, body positivity plus white cheddar popcorn. Smart Food, it will work. Like, you're leaving money on the table if you don't. Big Popcorn is watching. Well, Big Popcorn, get into it. We've got important stuff happening here.
But that's actually, it's like Big Pharma and then Big Popcorn is right underneath that.
That sounds spot on to me. And Alice is right there with you. Listen, the proof of concept is right here on this live feed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I will leave you to get working on that. But Jolie, thank you so much for being here. A pleasure. And I will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. All right. So now we are moving on to our next comedian who wanted me to let you know that she has been featured on Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus. She's not actually been on those properly, but she's been on them in the sense that she has accounts for all three of them, which, listen, it's getting expensive to be a cord cutter, so it is no small thing to have all of those. But in terms of comedy where you can see her, she recently started hosting an open mic at the Tiny Cupboard in New York called Heroin Addicts on Friday nights. And my next trip to New York on a Friday, I am absolutely going to be there. Aurea Young, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I hate to be that person to ask if I can be heard on a Zoom call.
Listen, that is the bouginess of AirPods. It's like, I don't know if I can be heard on my very fancy headphones. Can you hear me on these very expensive earpieces? We can hear you.
Right. All right. I paid $250 to be heard. Okay. Not playing.
Just like that. All right. Well, let me get out of here and let you do your thing, and then I'll come back and we'll talk snacks.
Sure. Yay. Thanks. Okay. So this is going to be really interesting for me because I actually have never done a Zoom show. I've like during the pandemic, I just kind of just let my comedy life just die a little. So I was actually starting to get used to like being back like in front of people and that sort of thing, because I felt like the world was finally starting to get back to normal, like comedy was coming back, we're able to be outside. White women were back touching hair again. It was great. It was like a good time, right? It's like nature is healing itself finally, you know? So, so I'm not here. I'm not going to talk about like white people. Like, I'm not going to talk bad. I love white people. Let me tell you, y'all can't season chicken, but you can season the hell out of some coffee. And that is you guys will always have a special place in my heart. I love it. I love it. And Amma, you were talking about like your cookies that you were doing during the pandemic. Like, I'm sorry. I can't get down with the gluten. I can't. I'm actually surprised. You're the first like person of color, Black person that I know that even talks about gluten. I thought that was strictly a white person issue. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly don't really understand what gluten is, or why like only really white people are allergic to it. Like I just don't really understand it. And that's also why I don't really understand like the whole concept of like white supremacy, because it's like, how can you be the superior race when you're like allergic to sandwiches? You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much about like what I know about gluten. You know what I mean? And then it's like, when you think about it, it's like we have the nerve to have all these white superheroes, right? When if you think about it, really only Black Panther is the only one who would survive if the Pillsbury Doughboy decides to like rise up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't really know what gluten is. I know what it could be though. It could be the cure to ending racism. I think all we have to do is just tell like the white racist people that the N word has gluten in it, and then they'll stop saying it. That's just my theory that I've been cooking up, during quarantine. But yeah, so I love to talk about like conspiracy theories and like stuff like that, and I love to talk about like just Black women in white spaces and taking over like especially like comedy, like male dominated spaces. And so I think like one space that we haven't quite tapped into, serial killers. I have a theory that Black women would make excellent serial killers because we are the masters of disguise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many times I've changed my hair and someone at work is like, oh my gosh, I didn't recognize you with your new hair, and then they like run off laughing, and it's like, it's all fun and games until you can't pick somebody out of a lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, just think about it. I have a theory that there are a lot of Black women serial killers out there, but like they're just so good that they just haven't been caught yet. Like something like, I bet like the sketch artist just couldn't figure out how to draw box braids or something. You know what I mean? That's just my thought. Like Bantu knots, like what is that? Locks? They don't know how to draw any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like we really need to like think about this whole Zodiac killer from like a different lens. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, I feel like every Black woman's like inner spirit animal is like a Decepticon. I feel like that's just what the next Transformer movie is going to be. It's just going to be like 2 hours of just a Black woman changing her hair throughout the movie. Like people are just going to be like, oh, is that an 18-wheeler? And it's like, no, that's just Keisha from HR with box braids. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. But anyway, enough about my like conspiracy theories. So I like Amma was saying, I recently moved to New York from Georgia, which has been an experience. I got my first thing of pepper spray. Can y'all see that? It's like gold, it's like safety, but make it fashion. You know what I mean? I actually bought this pepper spray from a random man on the street, and I hope it works. That's my only concern. I'm a reviewer. Like if I get on Amazon, like I want to review something. So I don't know what is in this can. Like it could be pepper spray. It could be cucumber melon body mist for all I know. I'll just just waiting to find out which it is, you know. I might have to leave a review from the trunk of someone's car. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, coming from the South has been like, it's been a really fun experience, like being here in New York, because there's so many like fun things, you know what I'm saying? We got comedy, there's like all these speakeasies, legal abortions, like it's like Disney World pretty much, you know? I'm like 2 abortions away from a free coffee at this point, you know? And I'm not sure like how much like everybody knows about like what's been going on in the South with all these heartbeat bills where it's illegal for a woman to get an abortion after 6 weeks, which pretty much means that I have longer to decide if I want to keep a lamp from Target than I do if I decide if I want to be a mother. You know, if you think about it, Target's return policy is only 90 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like we need more time, you know? But like, I don't want to offend like the pro-lifers out there. I actually respect pro-lifers and their dedication to their wrong opinion. Like I absolutely do. Like they're out there every third Saturday outside of Planned Parenthood, you know, with their signs and their hate speech. Like they're great, you know? And so it made me realize that I need to up my own beliefs, you know, like I can't just be pro-choice. Like at this point, I am now like anti-birth, you know, like I've decided I'm about to go hit up all the fertility clinics. I'm about to be outside protesting, letting people know, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be outside the daycares, letting people know, you know, it's not too late to choose adoption. Like that's what I'm going to do. Like I need to really level up my game. You know what I'm saying? Even the minivan dealerships. You were talking about minivans. I'm about to be protesting outside of minivan dealerships. Like, no, don't do this. Do you know what the consequences are of like getting a minivan, Cheerios and all that stuff stuck on the bottom of the seats? Like, we don't want to do that. You don't. We can't. We have to do better as a people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm probably just saying that because I'm like nearing that age where I'm almost considered too old to like have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know at this point, like if I were to like get pregnant somehow, I already know I'm going to be having like a geriatric pregnancy. Like I already know the doctor's going to come in. It's just going to be a black and white picture of an ultrasound of like Morgan Freeman or something. Like I already know. I already get it. I get it. That's fine. But I really honestly just want to be pregnant so I can sell my breast milk. Like that's the only thing. Like I want to start a breast milk business, you know? I told my friend that and she was like, ew, you know, like who would buy breast milk from somebody that they don't even know? And I had to look at her and I'm like, bitch, do you know these fucking cows? Like, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can follow me on Instagram, you know, you can track my steps. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Listen, breast milk is a business. Like, I'm normally not on board with like girl boss as like a term, but like if there were a business that would accurately be determined to be girl bossing, for the most part, allowing for some exceptions, of course, but like for the most part, that's a very girl bossy business, and I am here as hell for that.
I'm here for that. I'm here. It's coming. If I ever get pregnant, just know I'm gonna start my own line.
Well, good on you,
Yeah.
Aurea, because we have decided over here we are not manufacturing in-house, so like you go for it. That could be you. That can be you. And you're getting good reviews in the chat. Fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
Now, to your food opinions. First, would you like me to explain to you what gluten is?
I already know what it is.
Perfect. It's the thing that will it's a means of natural selection. That's all you really need to know.
That's all I need.
Picked off early. Me, my friend Ron, my friend Charla, Chloe Hillman, and Chloe Hilliard, and then who was the other person? I don't remember, but we all know each other. Anyway, we're getting picked off early.
No, I'm treating gluten like I treat my lactose intolerant. Like the shit doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so now I'm giving you your 90 seconds, and you can share your food opinion that you feel like needs the stage.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I already know what I'm about to say. Yes, because I've been waiting for a platform like big enough to discuss my issue. My food opinion it's a very strong opinion. oatmeal raisin cookies should not be a thing. I don't feel that oatmeal raisin cookies are actually cookies. Okay. I feel like they are glorified granola bars at best. Okay. It's a couple of things I don't want in my dessert, and all of them is fruit. It's just like, why is fruit in my cookies? I don't want anything healthy in my dessert time. Okay. Oatmeal does not belong in cookies. It's a breakfast. Why, why is this a thing? If I cannot stand if I go to grab a cookie and I think it's a chocolate chip cookie and I bite into it and it's some oatmeal and some raisins, like, just go ahead and just like Venmo me my bail money, because I'm going to jail, because I will be so pissed off. It's so misleading and disrespectful, and I can't stand it. And I hate it with a passion. That's just it. Just like, they're not cookies. It's a breakfast item.
So
I lost a fan.
I am honored to have given you the stage to share this important opinion. Honestly, Steph in the chat is giving you an upside. So she's saying, what I'm hearing is that I ate a salad earlier, not an oatmeal raisin cookie, which is great news for Steph.
Yeah.
So she didn't have a cookie. She had a health food.
You had a health food.
Eating.
You don't even need to count in your calories at this point. It's clean eating. That's all it is. Just, and sad. It's just sad. It's like, it's the Kanye West of cookies. It's just absurd. It makes no sense.
The Kanye West
for it.
Yeah, just she will not accept oatmeal cookies on her plate or Kanye West at her Grammys. None of it. Or
Thank you. None of it.
Incidentally, happy Grammys night to you and yours. He won't be. Well, he's allowed to go. He won't be on stage. But like, listen, award shows are wild now. He might end up on stage anyway. Who knows?
Right. I'm pretty sure, like, he would have to do so much for it to be considered like the worst thing that has happened recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would really have to go like Kanye back. I don't even remember what year that was, but that year when he went to, was it the MTV Awards with a bottle of Henny and like nobody stopped him? Like, he would have to get like back at that point before.
Yeah. I'm like, we don't have to relitigate last week any further, but suffice it to say, I hope people are on alert, because anything could happen.
Right. I bet their viewings are probably going to be up because people want to catch whatever is going to happen. Like, nobody wants to miss it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the
Glo is very upset.
Massive crash, and you're like, will they crash again? What's going to happen? Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. We need more material.
Exactly. So someone while out. So won't you think of the comedians and their need for material?
Please be on your worst behavior tonight. Thank you.
Aurea and I need it. So if you could, it would be super duper. All right. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
A pleasure to meet you. It always is. And I will see you in a couple weeks.
See you.
All right. Man, this is a fun show. I'm so glad we're doing this. And as a reminder, the pinned comment, if you're watching on YouTube, has the information to donate to World Central Kitchen. So even though I will be donating on your behalf, you can also donate for yourself. So please feel free to take advantage of that as well. And in the meantime, we're going to keep the show going. Now, not all of my friends are in New York, and proof is going to be our next comedian, Christine Horvath, who is in Ohio.
Hey.
So in addition to being in Ohio, that is not what Christine is most notable for. She is the founder of an organization called Babe Roar that uplifts comedians that are historically not the ones you normally see on lineups. It's what my friends and I call thawed-balls, so the people that are like first only or different on their lineups. But she does merch, a fantastic sweatshirt I was going to wear tonight, but wore a different one instead. And they also do a fund to fund the creative endeavors of comedians who need a little bit of a boost. So she is fantastic and also so funny, and I'm very excited to have her here.
Hey, thank you, Amma. Wow, that was a fuck of an intro. Thank you so much.
Happy to do it. All right, let me get out of your way. You can joke for a bit, and then we'll come back and talk snacks.
Okay, y'all, it is Sunday, okay? I'm just going to straight up talk to you like you are my friends, okay? That's what we're going to do tonight. Is it a problem that I've been laying in bed all day concocting various scenarios in which everyone I know hates me? No, it's called creativity. Okay. Look it up. It's my process. I've been preparing for this show all day. It's fine. It was a good day. I did see my boyfriend, who is 51. He is a nerd. I would say borderline by trade at this point. He has an entire room in his house that is just Legos. Just like the whole room is like Legos that he built, Legos that he organized, Legos that he's in the process of building. This man has more Legos than like most children I've ever met. And he's a huge nerd. And I've always kind of like understood nerds. Like my husband's a nerd. My boyfriend's a nerd. My friends with benefits is a nerd. Okay. I've got a lot of them circling around. My first boyfriend was a nerd. In case you didn't pick up, I am in an open relationship. So there's like lots going on. Don't be freaked out. Okay. But I've always kind of understood nerds, and I don't know why more people aren't having sex with them. Okay. Because look, if somebody is like building with Lego on a regular basis, if they are like painting miniature sculptures in their free time, don't you think that they have some like fine motor skills that can be applied to your pussy? Like, don't you think? I've been trying to tell people this since I was in high school. I don't know why more people aren't doing it. But I did recently have a TikTok that like went viral talking about how we should all be fucking nerds. And like lots of people were into it. So I think it might be catching on, which I'm really excited about. But I really think that if you like if a dude like plays D&D, you know, if he has like swords and action figures on his wall, okay, like that's a candidate for me. Like send them my way. All right. Look, if I was around when the 40-year-old virgin was in college, he would not have been a 40-year-old virgin. Okay. I would have seduced him and it would have been hot. But you know, the movie was great. I mean, you know, you can't rewrite history. You know, it's a whole thing. Oh, does anyone? Oh, actually, I was just about to talk to you like you were a live audience, and you're not. I was going to ask if anyone in the audience has ever read a book about burnout, and here's why: because I don't get them. I think that books about burnout are like, I'm already tired and overwhelmed, and now you want me to read a book? Like, who is that for? You know, like, who are these for? I think it's for women, probably, let's say white women, who already have kids and too many responsibilities, who want to have it all, starting with a nap, or more likely a migraine. It's really fun. I'm really excited to be like chatting. Even though it's a total one-sided conversation, I feel like I'm really connecting with all of you right now. Here's something that happens to me a lot. I have gotten a lot of men who have said to me, not a lot, maybe a few, but more so than I think like a thin woman would receive this compliment. They'll say like, the first thing that I noticed about you was your confidence. I'm sorry. You didn't notice my juicy titties or my jiggly ass. Like, you noticed my confidence. That was the first thing. Okay. First of all, fuck you. All right. Secondly, if somebody says that to you, run. It's a red flag. It is. I have lived long enough. I have dated long enough. When a person tells you that the first thing they notice about you is your confidence, they are about to rip you open like a Wendy's bag and consume you like a 4 for $4. Okay? Run. Get out of there. It's just not worth your time. It's awful. The word juicy is really good. It's a really good word. My first boyfriend in college, or sorry, in high school. That wasn't my first boyfriend. My first boyfriend in high school announced to all of my friends in front of everyone that I was not good at sucking dick. That is rude. My second boyfriend taught me how to suck his dick. Okay. And at my first boyfriend, you had this like pure virginal mouth to do with what you pleased. This is a teaching moment, sir. Okay. Why are you not teaching me? Like, you're expecting me to know how to service your dick like it's a Honda Civic? No. Nobody knows how to do that. You can just like teach each other things in bed. It's like the weirdest thing. It's like crazy. It helps when they're smart though. So you should probably date more nerds. See how I just went back to it? It was a callback. Oh my God. Anyway, let's see. They're in. I don't know why I'm sweating in my kitchen. Like, what's happening? It's spring in Ohio. That's what's happening. I am kind of surprised that I don't do burlesque, that I do comedy. Comedy and burlesque like work together a lot in Columbus. And so I'm always like, I wonder what specifically made me do comedy and not burlesque. And I remembered that when I was a kid, I would put on burlesque shows for my stuffed animals. And it would be like nighttime and I would like not be going to bed. I would be doing burlesque shows for my stuffed animals. And I remember in like 1999 or something, Lil' Kim showed up to the VMAs in that like purple jumpsuit with like the one pasty on her titty. Do you remember this? And I remember seeing that and I was like, oh my God, I need a pasty for my burlesque shows in my bedroom. But I was 7, so I just had to use Band-Aids from the hallway closet, which wasn't as sexy, but it did do the trick. So that's pretty great. Thanks for catching up with me. This was really fun. It's really cute. I do want to talk to you about snacks. So I'm hoping Amma just comes back because I don't want to do a joke.
Here she is to talk snacks.
Hi.
That was so fun. So fun. A lot of car talk today. Like, I did not know that was going to happen. Like, you mentioned civics. I talk cars.
Yes.
Protesting parenthood outside of Honda dealerships. Like,
oh my God, so good.
Car talk. And my dad loves car talk. The
show.
In fact, my first idea for a podcast ever was just reaction audio of my dad listening to car talk, which would be so funny.
So cute. I love that.
He's an audible participant. He would have been great. But
does he know a lot about cars, or he's just interested?
Just enjoys the banter of click and clap. Okay. Knows basically nothing about cars.
Yeah, that's a fun show. That's a really fun show.
But to your snack opinions, let's talk about it. Are you ready to chat snacks?
I mean, always, constantly. Griffin and I, my partner and I, have like a running bit where we talk about the things that we're eating, and then at the end we just say snack reviews. So yes, I have so many opinions.
Proceed.
I was like slightly hurt that Ari decided to choose violence against raisins because I had already planned to talk about how raisins are underrated. Glo is so excited. I was already planning on talking about this. And look, I think that raisins do belong in cookies because they're like a nice little chewy, juicy bite. Like in the middle of a cookie, it's like acidic. It like breaks up the monotony of the cookie. I'm into it. I like it. I also like that you can like pair them with chocolate, like a little raisinette. Like, look, I know it's for old people. I get it. But like they're really good. And raisins are such a good foil to chocolate. Like I'm on board. Ari is not. I know we'll never see eye to eye, Ari. I also think that raisins just on their own are really good. Like they are like naturally sweet and then they'll fuck you up with some fiber. Like, come on, they're so good. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
that is my controversial opinion.
Okay, so this has never happened before, but now I feel compelled to do like a State of the Union and then a response to the State of the Union. Oh, wait.
Ari's gonna kick my ass.
How are you feeling hearing this?
No. Why do you need a break when you're eating a cookie? That's what I don't understand. Like, I just don't
fair question.
Hmm?
Really fair. That's a fair question. I just think that they're a nice little juicy burst.
Eat a Starburst. When I'm like, I want a nice burst. Like, I'm not thinking, I want a raisin. Like, no. Like, what is a raisin? Is that like, it's like a petrified grape? Like, what is that? I don't understand. It's like a grape on life support. That's what it is.
It is.
It's just what it is. And it just.
You know what? I respect your opinion, Ari. I do think you are right. But I also will just never stop liking raisins. It's just part of me.
You got to get on the right side of history on this. It's not okay.
I'll do my best, but I can't make any promises.
Can't. And I'm just waiting for Glo to get up there because she is very upset about.
She's upset about the raisins as well. Yeah,
she's very pro raisin.
Just a moment. Again, this is unprecedented. This is turning into an episode of Crossfire. So we've not even met her yet, but Glo Butler is here. She's about to go on, but she also has takes on raisins. So please feel free to weigh in on this before we bring you on.
Oh my gosh. Like, you're supposed to stick beside all Black women, but I'm just like, cut her off. Cancel culture. Cancel.
I will not be silent. I will not be silent.
This is like just on some disrespect. It's like Christine explained it to like so perfectly. Like, how can you not even like that makes me want, if I didn't like oatmeal raisin, like that makes me want to go buy something from the store. You know what I mean? Like, very convincing, great delivery with it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like they deserve to put you in an oatmeal raisin commercial, Christine. You deserve to be out here.
But you don't ever see an oatmeal raisin commercial.
Exactly.
We need making money from.
We need more
oatmeal raisin sales.
We need more of it. We need more. That's the thing. It's not getting the level of respect that it deserves because of people like you. You know, you're out here like protesting in front of like abortion clinics and shit.
Do not push your pro-breakfast, pro-fiber agenda onto me. Okay? I'm a God-fearing woman, and that is an abomination. And it will not be in my house. It will not be in my house.
The church has plenty of oatmeal raisin cookies just waiting beside, the altar, ready to pray.
No, there's a special place in hell. Okay.
I'm really glad MSNBC of this all. Like, this just feels like midday talk show. I did not expect to start this heated of a debate and what I believe is turning into a race war. I didn't know.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is.
Oh, man.
It is.
All right.
Well, I got to keep us moving, but this has been an unexpected delay. So, thank you for coming back for the official response to Christine's State of the Raisin Union.
I think they're great.
Christine, thank you for your impassioned debate. For the record, I do agree with you in the sense of like splitting the difference and doing oatmeal raisinette. Then you get chocolate and raisin, and it's excellent.
Ooh,
Especially
I'm on board.
So, like I mentioned, I made a ton of cookie dough earlier in the pandemic, and one of them was finding the perfect mix-ins for Epicurious's salted oatmeal cookie recipe. Were excellent. Not the best combination I came into, but pretty close.
Okay.
Ari, this is why you're not on the video right now, because you're talking about salads and being sad. This is why you were kicked out.
All right, so we are up to our final comedian of the evening. She's already showed up a little bit already. So this is Glo Butler, who I met doing the Black Women in Comedy Festival a couple years ago. She hosts a couple shows in New York right now, Glow in the City, as well as Black Grits. Is that correct? That's the other one?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Yes. So she's hosting things all over New York, fantastically funny, very opinionated about raisins. And now we're going to hear her chat about some other stuff. So I will leave you to it, and then I'll come back and we will talk snacks.
Sounds great. Thank you, Amma. Awesome. Let's give it up for Amma, like for even continuing this like whole pandemic. I mean, I'm sorry, I haven't disconnected. Like I feel like I just got out like PTSD. Like this is triggering being back on any type of Zoom related looking video chats other than work. You know what I mean? So it's all good. And I'm not even going to address the controversial issue from before. We're not going to go there. I think that what needed to be said was said. Okay, so y'all, there is war going on right now. Okay, this is basically explaining how Ukraine became like the whole war with Ukraine and Russia. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this is basically what the people in power are doing, just fighting over cookies. Like who wasn't having enough cookies? I want more cookies. All right, well I'm gonna go freaking cookies and other freaking burgers and shit. The one thing that this is reminding me of is like I like even when this got started, I'm ordering like Uber Eats, and then like also I'm having my wine right here while I'm performing, which is different because I'm like my own bartender. Like I miss those days, but I don't miss it because it's so depressing. Like I don't miss like, trying to kind of step outside of the camera and pull the cork out of the bottle with my teeth because I put the cork back in like too tough. Like these are little things on Zoom, the Zoom struggle, the online streaming struggle that we have to go through. And Uber Eats arriving is delayed. It's a 45 minutes delayed, but it only arrives when it's time for your set. And I'm telling you, this is like sets that have been delayed. Like, you know what I mean? Like an hour can be like a show can be an hour behind, but somehow my Uber Eats will come in right before my set. These are little things I'm irritated about. Anyway, I was on Clubhouse a lot. I was very lonely. It was nice to hear voices, from afar. I would just put Clubhouse on while I was like brushing my teeth. When I was like going to pull out a bottle of like liquor for the evening, for myself, I would like do that. But I was on Clubhouse, and I don't miss Clubhouse. I don't miss Clubhouse because I got kicked out twice of like 2 rooms, so I was like, maybe Clubhouse is not for me. But yeah, I got kicked out. The first room that I ever got kicked out of was a lesbian like queer room or whatever you want to call it, because like there are trolls that come into that room. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, no, like, just like Aurea, there's guys that come into the room. It's just like, oh, what is lesbian sex? Like they're curious of how that oatmeal raisin cookie is. But instead, not over it. And that's okay. And it's okay. Call it, give it a name, describe it. This is what your therapist tells you to do. Just release it and give it to the universe for the universe to figure out. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I was on Clubhouse and now why am I? So now, when I was on Clubhouse, I got kicked out of the lesbian room, and I was kicked out because I told this guy, I was like, get out of our room. This wasn't my room, right? I was just like a guest in there, and they gave me like the voice, the microphone to speak. I was like, get out, like stop asking about sex, you little creepo. And they ended up kicking me out. And the thing about it is like when you're kicked out of a Zoom, kicked out of Clubhouse, like you don't know that you're out of the room until like you're out of it, like you're still talking and everything, and you're like, oh shit, like just like this, like what if I'm just like went away and like everybody else, she's just disconnected and put me in like my own room or some shit, like it'd be some fucked up shit like that, right? And then the other one was like a BDSM room. I was in a BDSM room and they kicked me out at 4 a.m. in the morning because I wasn't participating. So yeah, so with that being said, I thought that I was done with virtual, but here we are, you know what I mean? Good thing I like Amma, you know what I mean? There's a lot of love here, because it's, it's a little traumatic, but we're here now. You get it. I am excited that things are opening back up. I'm happy about, that I'm being here in New York. There's festivals that are coming back. We're back to spending $500 and $200 on tickets. I spent $200 right before the pandemic on a festival. I was like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I mean? Not like knowing that COVID was all in the air. They just like spazzazzled and sprinkled that shit off the airplane, and like we all got it right. So like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that's just how I pictured COVID hitting us. But yeah, so I'm really happy about the festival's opening back up. I spent $200 on a ticket. I did. It was rude, disrespectful because of the cost of rent in New York City. I need to work on my posture. This is also reminding me that like your couch does not give you like it feels good, but it doesn't make you. Anyway, you guys don't know. You guys aren't here, so you can only see. Anyway, so like, yeah, I spent $200 on a festival ticket, and I feel like when you're spending $200 on a festival ticket, I feel like when you walk through those gates, you should see like Cardi B and Beyonce like just breastfeeding on the lawn. I feel like that's the like appropriate way to like spend $200, right? I want every last detail off of some festivals, but instead I walked through those gates and all I saw were like 15-year-olds and 12-year-olds that have escaped their parents for the weekend and now they're there. And when I walked through, the 30-year-olds plus me was just walking through those gates and seeing these kids, and they were taking all types. They were like drinking whatever was sitting next to them. They were taking like, I do drugs, but I don't do those drugs. You know what I mean? So I saw them like foaming at the mouth after all this shit was really passing out or whatever. And so I took it upon myself to sell my weed to them because I felt like my shit was safe and I am here for the kids. You know what I mean? Plus they're out there on daddy's money. Like I need daddy's money too. You know what I mean? I feel like that's appropriate. Because I don't know. Things are changing, and I'm gonna have like a new hustle. I'm gonna be selling blunts to your 15-year-olds soon. So please, if you had children, I am so sorry. Anyways, I did start a new job. I started a new job recently. Loves the kids. I sure do. I do. No, that's freaking Good Burger or but anyway. So anyway. I got a new job. I was looking for a job for about a year in New York, and it was freaking depressing. So I did get a job, and I feel like it was one of those jobs that after looking for a year and you get like just a job so easily like that. I feel like it's one of those jobs where they just like kind of pick anybody, like they just like they don't give a shit. So I actually have a job, and I know how they pick just anybody because my supervisor is a recovering drug addict, and I have nothing against recovering drug addicts, but she's a like post COVID pandemic recovering drug addict, and they just hit different. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're the ones that like just based off of their attitude and stuff, and the fact that they're still out here living and freely and still doing shit. I feel like they're the ones that are going to be the leaders of the zombie apocalypse. I feel like they're the ones because they're out here surviving like COVID, not being vaccinated and living off these bodega snacks. Yeah. So anyway, I have to work from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's like my schedule. And I would have been mistaken for Denise at that early in the morning, and it's dark and it's weird and it's creepy when somebody just yells out Denise and they look in your direction because I don't know what the fuck Denise just did. You know what I mean? You don't know what Denise just did. So I was just like, I didn't know if Denise left on a bad note. Like the guy was like stressed when he was calling for Denise. I was just like, yeah, it's me. I ran off. I was just like, yeah, it's me. I love you and I love everybody I know. Just in case like he needed that. You know what I mean? So they can shut the fuck up and not have to like chase after me and murder me. But waking up that early, people are just like, hey, Glo, like just make sure that like you wear a bag of clothes when you're walking to the subway that early in the morning. I'm like, whatever, like crazies are crazies, you know what I mean? They'll fuck me in my little ass, like regardless. They don't give a shit, Yeah, but I'm used to being mistaken living in New York. Leave on this note, I'm used to being mistaken for for somebody else, like usually a celebrity because it's New York. One lady mistaken me for Lupita Nyong'o. I do not look like her. I do not at all. But she told me this right when like 12 Years a Slave came out, so I looked at her and I was just like, so you're trying to tell me that I look like a slave right now? And she wanted no parts of the conversation. It was really fun. I love fucking with people, white people especially, who do that. But I'm all love right here. Yeah. And instead of one guy asking me where I was from, he asked me what language do they speak in my country. And I feel like I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a Geechee on a bad day. Like if you ever watch Gullah Gullah Island, like that's me. So I feel like when somebody asks you what language do they speak in your country, I feel like you're almost forced to respond the way they want you to respond. It's like, oh, my country, oh, we just speak. And then I run out of the room barefoot. I feel like that's the appropriate response. Amma, I think that's my time. You know what I mean? I've had it. I'm ready to talk about some snacks.
Courtney wants to know, to the woman, how red did her face turn when you embarrassed the woman?
I don't know how deeper the red got because she ran so fast. Like I saw like a tent, there's a tent that went quickly, but she was just like, oh hell no. Like I saw in her eyes, I was like, yeah, I know. Like I wanted to just go hug her because like, my bad.
I feel like she probably had to run because it's like, then she'll think my face is red from running, when really I am just rightfully embarrassed. She's like, I gotta run. Exactly. That's my only way out of this.
Big facts, yeah. So
all right, so the final snack opinion of the night. I don't know if it could get spicier than it just did. I'm not going to hold you to that, but I would like to know what you think. Are you ready?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do this.
All right, hit it.
My snack that I truly love is edamame. I snack on it. It's like, it was something like it was like 8 years ago I started eating edamame, and I would have those little snack packs and stuff, and I like sprinkling. Actually, I was introduced to it because I was on a date, and this girl was like, oh my God, I'm going to teach you some stuff. And I'm like, it was edamame. This is not like, it's not like some freaking special Thai cuisine or something. You know what I mean? It was freaking edamame. But anyway, so like, I revisited, that experience by going to buy a pack and sprinkling some nice little sea salt or Himalayan salt on it. And I don't use soy sauce because it just gets in the way. But my mom told me, she's like, that's a really good snack because, it's like a super bean, so it's actually good for you. I don't think I ever caught COVID. I don't know if I did or not. I wouldn't know because I have been tested, whatever. But I would just say I feel like that was the reason why I was like, I had superpowers. You know what I mean? I still have superpowers because like I literally grab a huge ass bowl and also Trader Joe's, do better because you guys been delayed on your delivery for edamame and you're the only ones I really like. So do better because I'm about to disconnect with you guys and have to learn all over again how to have another brand of edamame. So sorry I had to vent like that. I feel that same passionately, just like oatmeal raisin, but you know what I mean? This is what we're doing out here. So yeah.
Listen, this is the place for the impassioned conversation. So like Trader Joe, if you're present and watching, get on it.
Yes.
Get on it.
I'm tired of going every other week and you're out of it and you're out of supply because when you're out of supply, it takes you like 3 months to get another supply. Like, what is that happening? And I refuse to cheat on you guys. You know what I mean? I refuse. So I'm not going to buy another pack of edamame from somebody else because I'm going to overcook it and it's going to be dry as hell. Well, I know the one from Trader Joe's exact timing I need to put in the microwave so I can put the salt on it and so I can soak it all up, the juices, and enjoy myself during my snack during This Is Us. Sorry.
Glo needs you for This Is Us. It's very important. Figure it out. Do what you need to do. I'm trying to patch up these holes in the supply chain to get you what you need.
Supply and demand. Supply and motherfucking demand. Okay.
She's demanding a new supply. Figure it out, Joe. For heaven's sake.
Thank you.
Well, I think we've done some great work here today. Glo, thank you so much for being here. It is always a pleasure to catch up with you, to joke around with you. Oh,
thank you.
A blast. All right, I will see you soon.
Bye.
Folks, that is our show. It has been a pleasure getting to do this with you all. And To everyone that watched, you gave $1 to World Central Kitchen by being here. And to everybody that performed, this is so fun. Like, this is the best and safest way I've found to kind of do comedy when I don't always feel like going out or when it's not safe to go out. So I always appreciate it, especially for those who are so sick of Zoom comedy or lightly traumatized by it. In the case of Glo, thank you for pushing through that to be here with me. I don't take it lightly at all. So we'll be back next week. Whole new slate of comedians, another opportunity to donate to World Central Kitchen. So thank you all so much for being here. Have a fantastic night. And show me your snacks, because it's always a pleasure to know what you're working on. Have a great night.